maximum drive.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Henshin time with me, Zeromaster. Today we're going to be looking at if you can recognize the belt. Today we're going to be talking about the Deluxe DecaDriver, or DecaDriver. I know everybody's reviewed this driver, but I want to put my little stamp on it because I love this driver. I'm warming up to the show Decade, or Decade, and this is the first rider belt I actually owned, so I want to show off a little bit of what it does. If you're not familiar with this, this is the Henshin device, or morphing device from Kamen Rider Decade, or Decade, depending on how you pronounce it, and it uses Gunbaride cards. And we'll get to these in a second. Now, if you just looked at these cards here, you'd notice these don't look like Japanese cards. That's because I have the Korean DX version. And it costs less, and there's literally no difference between the other DX version to the Japanese DX version, except these cards are actually more show accurate. So, I've got a huge stack of cards here, so I have more than what usually comes with it, but let me just show you the case so we can take a look at what it comes with. I'll just move this for a second. Alright, well, here is the box for the DecaDriver. As you can see, there's no flap on the top, of course, because it's not the Japanese version. Let me just zoom out a little bit here. I'm zoomed out all the way. Okay. There's no flap on the top. This is all in Korean. So let's just take a look. So there's Decade on the side there. That's the Kamen Rider. He's pink. There's the actual DecaDriver. There's the Decade card. You get, and it says there's, in Korean, you get 10 Henshin cards. Deluxe, and the channels that Kamen Rider Decade shows on in Korea, which is, I think it's Anoni, and Champ. Anyways, let's take a look at the side real quick. There's Decade and the other 10 or the other 9 Heisei riders before him, and it shows you what you get. You get the DecaDriver as well as 10 Henshin cards. And on the back, these are the 10 Henshin cards you get, or the other 9 Henshin cards you get. There's Decade, Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, Faiz, Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, Den-O, and Kiba. The last 9 Heisei riders. And it shows you on the back how the DecaDriver works. You flip the card over, put it in, and activate it to make Henshin. And some more images of Decade there. Decade actually putting the card in to show you. And accessories for the DecaDriver. The K-Touch, so you can go to Final Kamen Rider Decade, and which is his ultimate form. As well as the Ride Booker, which holds the cards and is his weapon. So yeah, I unfortunately don't have either of those pieces yet. I plan to get them in the future, but I don't. Anyways, here's Kamen Rider Decade on the other side, and the cards. So, that's the box. What I'm actually going to do, to give this a better view, is I'm going to pry up the driver on top of the box. And my reason for doing this is because I can't get a really straight view with this, with the way my camera is, and this will give me a more straight view. So, with that, let's look at the cards that it comes with. So like I showed you, there's Kuga, Agito, Ryuki, Faiz, Blade, Hibiki, Kabuto, Den-O, Kiba, and finally, Decade. So, I think it's only appropriate that we show off the Henshin with the first rider, with the rider this belt comes with, Decade. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the DecaDriver. The switch is underneath here. Actually, before we turn that on, let's take a quick look. So this is the driver itself. It's got a lot of buttons over here that don't really do anything. That's the light. All the Heisei riders all around the belt. It's got a very camera feel. This is actually molded. It says Decade on top. And there's the speaker and the power button down there. And the belt goes all the way around, like so. And let's just take a look open. That's how you open the driver. And the cards go on top there. So let's just turn this bad boy on. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. This might be a little difficult to do because I'm actually very far away from my couch behind the camera. So I'm going to try and move a little bit so I can do this accurately. So let's do the Henshin. Henshin. So that's the Henshin for Kamen Rider Decade, and we'll just take that card out. Let's just examine the card a little bit. Oh, sorry. So as you can see, there's a barcode right here. This determines what sound the DecaDriver makes. This is the Kamen Rider's name, Master Rider Decade, and there's some Korean there. On the Japanese version of the card, there'd be stats here, because you can actually use these in a Japanese arcade game. Let me just show you another card to compare. Here's my, I actually have Japanese cards. Here's my Japanese Ta card. It as well has the barcode right there. It has the stats, and everything here is in Japanese. And it looks the same on the back as the Kamen Rider ones, except of course with more Japanese in it. And the Japanese cards will work in the Korean DecaDriver. There's literally no difference between the two. The only thing I will say is the Korean cards are not as durable as the Japanese cards, as you can probably see. There's some wear and tear on my card here, because they're made. This one has a more plasticky feel to it and has finish on it, while these cards do not. So let me just go ahead and show you. I have both Kamen Ride card, which is the Henshin cards, and Attack Ride cards. Thanks to my friend Nightshade for giving me some extra cards. Thank you a lot, dude. And I'm just going to go through the other Henshins with you, as well as the other cards I have. I will play the Rider's Henshin, and then their Attack Ride. So, before I get to my final verdict here on whether the DecaDriver is worth it or not, I just want to talk about the types of cards I have. First of all, the regular Henshin cards that came with the Korean version. I already explained the differences between them and the Japanese. And these make the Henshin sounds, as you heard. It makes... The Henshin cards make the most sounds, to my knowledge. They say Kamen Ride, and then it does the rider's name and the sound for it. Now, that's not true for all. There are Showa-era cards that do only make generic sounds, unfortunately. The next are the Attack Ride cards that I have. Show these off. They will say Attack Ride, the rider's name, and play a generic sound. So kind of disappointing there, but at least it says Attack Ride and the rider's name for most cases. Cards that the next card I have here, next two cards I want to show, these are my, this is my double Luna Joker and my O's Tato Ta card. These cards came out after the DecaDriver was already out, and they're from later seasons, so they only make generic sounds. They don't even say Attack Ride, even though they're Attack Ride cards. So, unfortunately, these don't make any special sounds, but at least they work in the driver. And the last card that I want to talk, my newest card, is this Kamen Rider Foes card that came with my, the Switch, an Astro Switch I got. As you'll notice, there's no barcode on this thing anywhere. The attack points have actually been moved down here. So this doesn't even make a noise. It just goes in the driver, and it doesn't even, it looks off-center when it goes in the driver. A little disappointing that this doesn't make any noises. Something to keep in mind to anybody buying new toys. And there are also final attack rides, which you put in, and it does sort of like a DJ thing with the thing. So if you put in Decade, it'd say final attack ride, Decade. And I unfortunately don't have any final attack rides. I don't have any final form rides, and I don't have any special movie cards. The difference between those, the final form rides just say final form ride, and movie cards do special things like this, like Kamen Rider card, or they'll say something like that one movie card that says final attack form, or was it final attack form Kamen Ride. Final attack form Kamen, yeah, something like that, which I don't have. Now, would I recommend the DecaDriver? Yes, I definitely would. The DecaDriver is one of the cheapest main rider drivers. You get a ton of sounds. You get 10 cards out of the box, as well as they just re-released this with the 10 original rider attack ride cards. It's a little more expensive, but you get 20 cards in the set. Like I said, this is the Korean version, and there is virtually no difference between the Japanese version. And these are much cheaper than the Japanese ones. Only difference, like I said, the cards are more show accurate. So, most fans will want the Korean one because it's show accurate. These cards look more like what he used in the show. The cards that Decade used in the show did not have the points on them. They weren't actual cards. So these are closer to the show. However, like I said, the Korean cards are made cheaper. They work, but as you can see, they've got wear and tear. And I've had this rider belt, I think, only for 6 months at the most. I think way less than that, but the cards, I use them. I don't use it on a daily basis, but I like to use this driver a lot. Getting additional cards is the tough one. Usually, they get packaged with toys. Unfortunately, the newer toys, a lot of the cards don't have a barcode on them, like this Foes card, which is unfortunate, and a lot of the newer toys, even the ones with barcodes on them, you're going to get a generic sound because they weren't programmed with this thing in mind. Getting the Ganba Ride cards, just like separate ones, I have no idea where to get packs of them. I've been trying to find packs of them for a long time, with no avail. You can buy individual cards online, but the prices are usually really inflated. If you're buying older toys, you're more likely to get cards for this, and cards from other Kamen Rider toys are supposed to work in this. I heard the Blade cards work because they have the same barcode system. I'm not sure what sounds they make, but the same system. So, the answer is, when you go down to buy this, is really what you want out of it. It comes with a ton of stuff for the price. It's one of the cheaper belts that does a ton of stuff, and I know belts that are way more expensive and don't do quite as much as this. The Super Best version has more cards, like I said, and it's literally no different than this, so newer cards will not have new sounds. And if you buy older toys, you have the option of getting more cards for it. Really, this thing is, if you want a good driver to start out or to be an early driver you get, this is the driver to get. Even if you don't like the show, the driver is tons of fun to play with. It has a bunch of noises. It has a very responsive light, and it's very well nicely done. So yeah, that's my review of the DecaDriver. Next time, we'll get onto something Super Best. Unfortunately, I don't have the Super Best DecaDriver, but I think you know what I'm talking about. See you next time.